What's up, y'all? Back with another one, Responsible Degenerate Podcast. I'm your host, Robbie. That's my co-host with the LSU jersey, Mel. You know, you know, um, you know the Instagrams, the TikToks, the social media at the bottom. Like, subscribe, and share. Today is a great day to invest in women's basketball. This is our investment. Today was a great day of basketball. Great day, elite day of Sweet 16 basketball,
Mm-hmm.
and it's only day one. Tomorrow's day two, but let's get into today's games. I want to start with the game that just went off. Duke defeats LSU. Ashland Jackson, you were bad. Even though you did miss those free throws, you made up for it. You were bad. You were bad MF. Harry Lawson, Uh, man, all across the board, man. But I'm gonna get to the stat sheet. Duke defeats LSU 87-85 off a game winner from Ashland Jackson. Toby Fournier shot the free throws today. Excellent today, 10 for 12. She finishes with 22 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block. Delaney Thomas, 7 points, 2 rebounds. Ashland Jackson, 19 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. Taina Mayer, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Riley Nelson, 4 points. Jordan Wool off the bench, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Ariana Roberson, 9 points, 10 rebounds. And for LSU, Jada Rashard, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Michaela Williams, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 2 turnovers. Flora Jade, 13 points, 5 rebounds. Grace Knox, 7.6 rebounds. Amaya Joyner, 9.6 rebounds. And Malaysia for Wiley, 28 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Where would LSU be without Malaysia for Wiley? This game would have been over very early. Ayla, shh. This game would have been over very early if she didn't play the way she was playing. She came out aggressive from start to finish. And then along the way, Flora J had a tough first half. She did have a good third quarter, and she was benched fourth quarter. She didn't do much in the fourth quarter anyway. I didn't like, even though they played this lineup a lot during the season. I wasn't very fond of that Kate Koval and no, not Kate Koval, Grace Knox and Amaya Joyner lineup. That two big lineup.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't do it for me. Toby Fournier was aggressive tonight, excellent tonight. Like I said earlier, knocked down free throws, very aggressive around the lane. Delaney Thomas, foul trouble, but the minutes that she did play, she was impactful. Ashton Jackson missed 2 free throws. And for her to come back the very next play and knock down a big 3-pointer, tough shot too. The pump fake, and then Flora J jumped by her, shot it, boom. Great shot. I'm not sure if that was a play call or not, because they was only down 1. And I'm pretty sure Carlos might call for it too, but things happen, it's March, Taina Mayer. You can't say enough about her, man. She was aggressive all night. She had it going all night. She was kind of like the igniter tonight. The ball, I wish the ball down the stretch when they was up by, I believe like 11 was, and then LSU went on, their little run to tie it up, take the lead, whatever it was. They had went away from her for a little bit, and that's why I think they struggled executing in the half court in the end of the fourth quarter. But they came through when it counted. Riley Nelson could have been better tonight. She didn't really do much tonight. Jordan Wood came off the bench tonight. Excellent defense, rebound, energy. Roberson, same thing, rebound. Like I said, Thomas was in foul trouble, so Roberson came in. She kind of did what Thomas does: rebound the ball, give Duke extra possessions. I believe they won the rebound battle tonight. Actually, it was tied tonight. Turnovers tied. Those are my keys to a game: the rebounds, turnovers, assists. Assists was 16-8. LSU, their offense was very stagnant. Even though that's how they kind of always play, just like very heavy ISO ball. Tonight it bit them in the ass. And Yeah, they shot the they didn't shoot the ball for three. They shot more threes than usual. 26 is a lot for them for this Duke team. You know, they don't get up very much. That's pretty much all I got right now. Mel, what's your take on this game, man? What's your take? I really want to hear you anyway. I want to
Yeah, I
hear you
mean, I
probably.
got the LSU jersey on.
Mhm.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. My take from this game is that was a heartbreaking way for LSU to lose. And what makes it worse is that they got the stop that they needed on the shot before, like the shot that Tiana Mir took. Got, she missed the shot. All they had to do was secure the defensive rebound, and they didn't do it. And they gave Duke another opportunity. What have we been saying about tournament time? You have to rebound the basketball, and I think Duke had like 20 offensive rebounds tonight, and it hurt them. You know what I'm saying? But this game was definitely it was a fun one, man. It was a great game. I know it was super late, but I'm glad we stayed up for it because it was cinema. And like I said, as I sit here with this LSU jersey on, as a reminder to everybody, I have picked LSU to win the Natty. And it looks like that won't be happening. And I didn't see it happening this way. And I think I would have probably put, like, if anything, like if LSU would have lost by 10, then it's like okay, whatever. Or if they got blown out, it's like all right, cool. But the fact that they lost like that, and the fact that Ashlyn Jackson made that shot on floor J, that really stung. Like it hurt me. I had to walk away from the TV because I felt that I was emotionally gonna get involved, just like them. And I really like Duke. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a fan of, um, you know, Tiana Mia, Toby Fournier, Ashton Jackson. Like I really love what Duke has been doing, like turning their season around. And like one of my favorite quotes is not how you start, it's how you finish. And Duke has been playing amazing. But back to this game, man. It was tough for LSU out the gate. I mean, LSU would have been down by like 20, 25 if it wasn't for Malaysia for Wally. She came in the game, step back three, huh? 3-pointer, huh? Get into it. She seemed like she was the only person that was able to really get off her shot. Like she came in poised, she came in discipline. And Duke, shout out to their defense, man. They had a defensive game plan, and they made it tough on them. And Toby Fournier was making her presence felt all night, just living in the paint. And she has really great hands. Her ability to catch the ball off the pick and roll, to be able to catch the ball in traffic and go up. And Toby Fournier is one of my favorite players, and I feel like she hasn't even reached her pinnacle yet. She shoots like 50 something percent from the free throw line. I think she only missed like one or two tonight. Remarkable. We got to give her credit where credit is due, because the fact that she did that basically on the road, you know what I'm saying? Like in hostile territory, you can't, like, that takes mental fortitude. And you could tell she came in this game locked and loaded, making and ones, finishing plays, getting to the free throw line, being aggressive. Like I love seeing that fieriness in Toby, because I feel like that's what ignites their offense and their defense. And do definitely shut things down. That basically that whole first half, man. I think in the first half, Michaela Williams and Big Four, they was like 3 for 14 from the field, and LSU only had 3 assists. A lot of the game was just one-on-one for LSU. It was like no ball movement, no swinging it from side to side. It was a struggle for them to even get off a shot. But at the end of the day, LSU has people that could create off the dribble. But against a Duke defense that said you need some more fluidity in that offense. Thank the Lord for Malaysia for being able to create and just being on one. Like, I mean, that woman is an athlete. Her ability to, I think she had like a ill block in the game, stealing the ball, playing great defense, getting to the rim. I loved her game tonight. Like this, and this is another thing. If LSU would have won this game, that would have been a legacy game for Malaysia, because her handprints was all over that game. I will say though, in the second quarter or just throughout the game, there was some critical defensive lapses with leaving Taina Maya open. Taina Maya was just cooking them up behind the
It
arc,
was.
and she was making them play. Like there was times where LSU was playing great defense, but they couldn't finish the defensive possession because there was either a mishap late in the shot clock, or the shot clock would be running down, and a player is running past Taina Maya and she's getting off a free three. You can't do. You got to be more defensively sound. And in the second quarter, not Malaysia, but Florget, a lot of like these under scoop layups. It just seemed like she was playing too fast. too erratic. And I know she wanted it so much, but she definitely had a great third quarter where she turned it around. She got it going. So did the Michaela Williams, in the second half. And it was good to see them, get some energy back because LSU needed that. At the end of the day, Malaysia needed help. You know what I'm saying? Like this is one of those things where like Malaysia did everything that she could. Like we need the senior, we need Florget to tap into that bag. We need Michaela to tap into that bag, and others as well to chip in. I know Grace Knox hit a few shots and things like that. But the bigs, Kate Colville and Zakiya Johnson, 0 points and picked up 2 fouls each. I mean, you gotta be more of a presence in that game. Like they needed y'all. Like any type of production from any one of those bigs, who knows? We may be having a different game, but at the end of the day, the Duke's bigs, they did what they needed to do, and at the end of the game, man, it was tough because you see LSU coming back, they fighting back. Like I said, Florget was making some great plays, getting to the rim. Michaela Williams woke up, was getting to the free throw line. She hit some clutch free throws, and you're looking at this game like, okay, like this is a game where LSU is making a great comeback. Momentum is on their side, and then just I just don't know. At the end of the day, you can't even knock LSU or Florget because on that last shot, Florget did what she needed to do. Ashton Jackson missed those 2 free throws. Ashton Jackson got the ball on that right side. Florget was right there, and the ball just toilet bowled in the rim, and that's all she wrote. And it was just I was devastated, man, because it's like after those 2 free throws from Michaela Williams, they're like, okay, like this is what they need to be able to, usurp Duke. But at the end of the day, Duke just had too many better offensive possessions than LSU. Duke made it count in more possessions than LSU, whether it was from the free throw line, whether it was certain baskets throughout the game, and just defensively all throughout. And at the end of the day, LSU couldn't overcome, you know, Malaysia Fuwali just putting on the cape and nobody else really putting on. So at the end of the day, you got to give credit to Duke. That was a gut out grinded game, man. And but like I said, you have to rebound the basketball. If LSU grabs that defensive rebound on that Miami miss, we're having a different conversation. But when you don't secure the rebound, that's what happens. You give Duke another chance, and at the end of the day, it's a tournament. We've seen shots like that happen all the time. So we're not surprised. It's unfortunate, but I'm not surprised. They had another opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And Ashton Jackson made it count. So it hurts for me to say this, man, but shout out to Duke. And LSU is out of the tournament. But listen, man, I just want to say this, man. Y'all, everybody put some respect on Malaysia Fuwali name. LSU would not even have been in that predicament anywhere close if it wasn't for that woman. She literally held it down and gave LSU to have a chance to be in that game. Malaysia, Michaela, and Florget came, got it going towards the end, but that was because Malaysia was holding it down from the get go. I know she had some defensive lapses all throughout the game, but at the end of the day, she was putting the ball in the hoop. And at the end of the day, you need to have more points than your opponent. And she was scoring the ball, but they just couldn't. They couldn't secure the rebound at the end, and it hurt them.
Yeah, Malaysia has to work on her left hand.
Yeah,
She has to like the scout is out on her. She's gonna always try to finish right. That play when she got the steal
yeah,
and she had the fast big layup, she had a open left hand
yeah.
layup.
She
She chose
did.
to go to the right, a crowd there, and she didn't make the basket. She has to work on her left hand. And next year that needs to be also next year.
Yeah,
As far as Zakiya Johnson, she barely played. It's hard to contribute if you don't play. Like she played like the last one, maybe like 3-4 minutes. So if you add that, she only played before that 2 minutes. Like she didn't really play much. It's hard to get a rhythm. But she's the kind of player like she brings energy no matter what. Like she's not a scorer, so like but you have to like play. She didn't. Like, you could tell this year like she didn't like trust her during big games because she didn't really play them. Even tonight like 6 minutes. I'm pretty sure she could have gave you some kind of energy to kind of offset Toby Fournier a little bit, and she just didn't play that much. 20 offensive rebounds. We give a team 20 extra shots. They gonna make some of them. Like
yeah,
they gonna make some of them. They gonna make some of them, and like you said, it came down to just now that last play, offensive rebound. They didn't secure it. What happens? Duke get another shot at it, and Ashton Jackson puts them away. Simple as that. LSU. I mean, LSU going LSU, man. Like LSU going LSU, man. Like the ISO ball, it's not gonna get you far, man. Like when it counts, you have to run an actual offense, and they don't run an actual offense, and I didn't have even trust in them to even close out a game. I don't have trust in them. So like, and they just showed me today like why I shouldn't have trust in them. Like they can't close out possessions. Like cool, they were scoring. They went on their little run when Duke was folding, but you gotta secure the rebound. Like there's no way you don't secure that, man. But hey, it bit them in the ass tonight. Now they go home and Duke keeps on dancing tonight. Shout out to Duke, shout out to Kyle
Yeah,
Lawson.
shout out to Duke,
They
man.
played, yeah. Yeah, like who would think we would be here right now talking about Duke the way we talk about it right now? Like the way it started, we was some people was calling for Carrot Job, some people was like, what's going on with Duke? Duke ain't making the tournament, and look, Duke right back to the Elite
They
Eight, man.
started three and
Shout out to
six.
Duke,
They
man.
started 3-6, and then went on to win
Mm-hmm.
the ACC championship. And
Mm-hmm.
then look at them now. They just took care of business against LSU. I mean, listen, man, y'all better start believing in Duke. And like I said, even though I picked LSU, like I understood that this was going to be a difficult challenge for LSU. And if anything, I had a feeling that Duke would upset them because I just feel like this team, it's all about momentum. And yes, it's like how I said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And Duke has
Mm-hmm.
just completely flipped their whole season. And I don't think anybody could have predicted that they would be at where they're at now, looking at how they started. Even when they
Nobody.
when they lost that game, I think it was against West Virginia when they lost like five, but they lost to like five players. I think the whole starting five of that team
Yep.
lost, and then the bench
Yep.
came in. I mean, you cannot. Nobody predicted this. But at the end of the day, man, you got to show love and give them their flowers. Like this team has a lot of intestinal fortitude. They have fight. They have grit. They have everything that you need. A great point guard in Taina Mir, man. Like, people need to put
I was
more
gonna say,
respect on her name. Taina Mir is one of them
I was
ones.
gonna say that.
Cold
I
blooded,
was gonna say that.
cold blooded killer, ice in her veins. Them shots she was making today, big time. Big time.
Mm-hmm.
Where once she made it, Ella, she was like, ah, shit. Like, yeah, because she's like that.
Mm-hmm.
Toby Fournier, stabilizer. And the fact that she was making her free throws, beautiful thing, man. Ashlyn Jackson,
That was beautiful.
this team is loaded, man. And give them credit. Duke won this game. They took over.
They, they did, man. Shout out to Duke, man. Duke defeats LSU 87-85. Duke is still dancing. LSU is going home. Another awesome game to start the day, man. Notre Dame. Notre Dame
Mm.
defeats Vandy 67-64. Led by, come on now, a familiar name. Y'all might know her. Hannah Hidalgo. Y'all might know her. 31 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 10 steals, 1 block. Cassandra Prosper, 15 points, 5 rebounds. Than that, nobody really had it going. It was I'm sorry, Malaya Cowles, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. And for Vandy, Aubrey Galvin, 24 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 6 turnovers, 1 steal. Michaela Blake's 26 points. She did not shoot well at all today. 7 for 26, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Three assists, 2 turnovers, 3 steals, 1 block. That pretty much was it. Notre Dame did a great job of taking out because Sasha Washington, she's a big part of Vandy, and they did a good job of taking her out the game. And once they did that, it became just basically a a two player team. And Obi Galvin, the rookie, the freshman, she bought out today. Duke, not to Duke. Caleb Blake's couldn't make a shot in the first half, and Aubrey Galvin pretty much held it down, kept the game close. So will they be without Aubrey Galvin, man? And then Michaela Blake, she came on late. She started getting her shot going late in the game. Started getting to the line more, locking down her free throws. She did have a costly turnover at the end of the game but she did also miss the game winner, the potential game tying shot. She missed that too as well. So I know it's gonna haunt her during the off season, man. But 44 rebounds. They did win the rebound battle. That's usually to me that's the one that gets you the rebound battle, the assist turnovers is how you win games. Wait, relax. That's how you win a game, man. But the assist turnover ratio, 9 assists, 23 turnovers. You not beat nobody. Who you beating? Who you beating with that kind of ratio? I mean, Wilson was no better, but they was 13-13 even. 9 to 23, not gonna work. Hannah Hidalgo, oh man, this. I'm gonna say this: that people are lucky that Hannah Hidalgo is not 6'4". I better be happy she 5'7", because she like it's so many words to like, describe her. Relentless, like it's like. And one thing I like about Hannah, we spent last season saying like she was like erratic, hectic, And one thing I liked about her today, she channeled all that energy the right way. She wasn't erratic today. She was everywhere defensively like always. Everywhere. She was rebounding the basketball like always. Scoring the basketball like always. But I like that she was trusting her teammates tonight. She could have easily walked out there with a quadruple double. Easily. But they shot 1 for 17 from three. So but I like how on that game winning layup, she could have easily it could have easily been a turnover. I forgot who hit the ball. She went and got it. Dribble 1-2, boom boom, went and fed Prosper for the layup. And that was a night, folks. That was a night. Mel, your take on this game? You muted, by the way. You know that, right?
I'm good now.
Good now.
Okay, copy.
Yeah, you good now.
Yeah, my fault. My take from this game is what I feared would happen to Vandy happened. Now I picked Vandy in this matchup, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Deep down inside, like in the back of my mind, I knew that I shouldn't have because I just felt that, like deep down inside, like at the end of the day, this Vandy team is still young, right? They're still, trying to figure things out. And you look at Hannah Hidalgo and even this Notre Dame team, this program, they've been here before, right? Even though they've lost multiple times, I think they've lost like four consecutive Sweet 16s and things like that. This team has been here before. So like I said, my takeaway from this game is what I feared would happen happened. And Lord have mercy, Vanderbilt, I was really confused. Well, no, let me take that back. I wasn't confused. I was just flabbergasted at how disjointed they looked. Now I know in the beginning of the game, right? Like nerves, both teams have nerves. Teams is anxious. You know what I'm saying? It takes a little while to get it going. But there's a thing. There's a difference between taking a while to get things going, and just looking completely anemic. Vanderbilt looked like disjointed for a while. Like this wasn't something where it was like okay, like they got it going and they went into a flow. It took them damn near to the fourth quarter to even go on a run. And in that first quarter, I was just really surprised at the tempo in which Vandy was playing. It just seemed like they was moving in mud, very slow, lethargic. I'm just like, yo, do y'all not know that Hannah Hidalgo is on the other side, which means that you need to run. Like, I understand you want to set up your offense half court. Hannah Hidalgo not playing that. She came out as soon as the game started. She had like two steals. And like damn near less than a minute. She had like two steals in less than a minute.
Mhm.
So at some point, something has to click in where it's like, yo, we need to run and change the pace. But the turnovers, the shots, everything just break, 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 cold. I mean, Vanderbilt, I think in that first quarter, they was 2 for 12 and they had 10 turnovers. They was shooting 17%. There was a time in the first quarter where Vanderbilt turned the ball over 5 times in a row. In a row. You want to know why? Hannah Hidalgo.
Sure.
Ha-
Hidalgo.
Everywhere you look, Hannah Hidalgo there. And like I said, I swear to you, every time I watch Hannah play, it looks like she's teleporting in the lanes. I have not seen somebody that damn quick. I have not. Like her ability to steal the basketball is incredible. is marvelous. And shout out to Notre Dame for putting their foot on the gas and really applying pressure. But even with that said, right, even though Vanderbilt had probably one of the worst quarters you can have, they was only down by like four, right?
Yeah.
They only down four, and you had 10 turnovers. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, Michaela Blakes didn't even score a field goal in the first quarter. She went to the free throw line and was able to get some points there, but she was like, oh, she was struggling. So it's just like, okay, Vandy, all you gotta do is just slow it down, get into a rhythm, and then you'll be fine. Second quarter came, they Vanderbilt came out of the second quarter with a turnover. And yet again, they still have this slow pace to where it's just like they're playing in mud. They're not moving. They're allowing Notre Dame to set their defense and to clamp them up. And Michaela Blakes didn't get her first field goal until like 6 minutes in the second quarter. She was 0 for 8 prior. And it was just I was really you know just shocked at like the pace they were playing with. The reason that Vanderbilt even had some type of life was Aubrey Galvin. That second quarter was hers. She came in that game and she was balling, especially in the second quarter where I think she had like a little 360 finish layup on Hannah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, that's Aubrey Irvin? Who that? Kyrie Galvin? She was wilding, hitting threes. She got them loose, and then that gave them a bit more life. But outside of Michaela Blake's getting to the free throw line and Aubrey Galvin giving them some life, nobody else on Vanderbilt did anything. Anything. And I'm just looking at this as like, yo, this game is gonna come down to the others. We know Michaela Blake's is there. We know Hannah Hidalgo is there. What are the supporting cast? What are they gonna do? And at the end of the day, Notre Dame wasn't doing anything spectacular or special on offense. It was really just Hannah creating, getting downhill, drawing fouls, getting to the lane, getting her shot. But Notre Dame was struggling all night as well. Notre Dame hit 1 3. Notre Dame was 1 for 17 from three. Cassandra Prosper definitely she played good. She played solid getting down here, getting to the rim. But Ayana Moore, who was a shooter, she was 0 for 8. Jesus, I think she fouled out of the game, was 1 for 4 and was missing wide open three, like practice threes, where it's just like, yo, you can't get that up. So, it was a really rough half for Vanderbilt. That's probably the worst half I've seen a team like that play. It was shooting like 23%. 18% from three with 16 turnovers, but they was only down five. So when you look at that, you're like, yo, okay, this is a game Vanderbilt should clearly win. Notre Dame, they're able to win. They was able to win that first half on the defensive end. They wasn't doing anything special offensively. It was just Hannah. But even then still, it was just like, the second half came and then, but in the fourth quarter, like I said, Michaela Blakes, that's where she woke up. Right, that's where she woke up. She started getting downhill, getting to the rim, getting to the paint, and things like that. But what haunted Vanderbilt is them damn turnovers. And even though Vanderbilt had a chance to win this game, that bad play throughout the full court, that's gonna catch up with you. You cannot look that lethargic and that on offense and defense and expect to win the game. I don't care who you're playing. And at the end of the day, Hannah Hidalgo had her imprint all over that game. I mean, that woman, her ability, her ability to score the basketball, to rebound, like she had 10 steals. She had like 7 steals in the second quarter. She could have had a quadruple double. Like, honestly, if she wanted to, Hannah Hidalgo could average a quadruple double if she wanted to. This woman does not cheat you with effort. She does not stop. She's a competitor, and it's such a beauty to watch her play because she doesn't just do it on one side of the ball. She does it in all aspects. Nobody plays harder than that woman. Like, she's not the tallest, she's not the biggest, but she got a heart. She got the heart of a lion. And one thing you know for sure, when you're on that court with Hannah Hidalgo, you're gonna feel her. And she was everywhere. She impacted that game all day long. picking people's pockets, scoring the basketball, rebounding. Like, forget your big. Like, Hannah Hidalgo is the big. She's everything you need her to be and more. And she showed that. And like I said, towards the end of the game, it was tough, man, because I remember when Michaela Blakes had like a lane to the basket. I feel like she saw the lane and she got so excited to dribble and get to the rim where she just lost track of the ball. And turned the ball over. You can't turn the ball over in that instance. And I know it was a couple free throws missed here and there. And that play with Notre Dame, man. Listen, Hannah Hidalgo, like how we said, all throughout the second quarter, she could have easily been like, yo, F it, I'm gonna take all the shots, because there was a period where Vanderbilt went on a run and was able to get back into the game because Notre Dame wasn't hitting no shots. Notre Dame had wide open shots. Ayana Moore, wide open. Brick. Jesus, Brick. Nothing was going down. But the fact that Hannah Hidalgo still kept her teammates involved, it shows you how much of a great leader she is. When Cassandra Prosper was at the free throw line and she missed that first free throw, she walked up to her like, yo, you got it. I got you. I believe in you. Like yo, team, we here. We got you. That's a leader. That's a leader. That's somebody that I would love to play on my team. That's somebody I would go to war for with, no matter what's going on, whether I'm missing or not. Even when Ayana Moore was missing and they went in that huddle, she grabbed her like, yo, you keep shooting. I'm gonna give you the ball. And in that play where she dumped it off to Cassandra to get that layup, it just shows you how selfless she is. Even in moments where she could take the last shot or be assertive and things like that, she still looked for her teammates. So, I just want to give love to Notre Dame, man. Hannah Hidalgo won them that single-handedly, took over that game. And, Aubrey Galvin, I know they had chances at the end of the game, with the last play. I know Aubrey Galvin missed a shot and I keep saying Michaela Blakes missed a shot at the end. Those were good looks, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you can't blame, I don't blame Michaela Blakes and Aubrey Galvin at all. Did what they needed to do. That those two shots are not why they lost that game. Overall, as a team, Vanderbilt did not show up, and they was dysfunctional all night. At the end of the day, even if Vandy would have somehow lost, I would have probably been tight, because I don't see how you can. I don't see how a team could look like that and be competitive against UConn. UConn would have looked like Syracuse if UConn would have played Vanderbilt. So I'm actually glad Notre Dame played and actually won that game. So, shout out to Hannah, shout out to Notre Dame, and shout out to Coach Ivy, because whatever scheme she came up with, defensive strategy, boy, did that shit get implemented. It was a masterpiece defensively. Masterpiece.
Yeah, they was calling for Coach Ivy head beginning of the season, man. She was on the hot seat, man.
Yeah. Well,
She's still on that hot seat.
things change now.
Yeah, it was good to see. Good to see that alumni pop out too.
Yeah.
You saw Scott Dickey up there.
Yeah.
You saw Jackie Young. You saw DJ Carrington.
Mm-hmm.
I know she didn't go to that school, but you saw them. Who was there? That's about it. Yeah, it was good to see, man. It was definitely like Hannah. She just on a different wavelength than everybody
Mm-hmm.
else, man. Like she just so aggressive. Like she just so aggressive, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shout out to Michaela, man. I did have Vandy dancing still in my bracket, man, but I mean my bracket been effed up, But Notre Dame is dancing, man. Nobody had them in the Elite Eight, man. Nobody had them in the Elite Eight. Nobody
Nobody.
had an elite at all. Nobody. No, nobody. It's a one man team. They ain't going far. They probably be done after the first round. Hey, y'all still
Here they
dancing,
are.
shutting everybody up. It's March, baby. It's what March is about, Mel.
Yeah, baby. The tournament
March is
time, man.
about.
This is love it.
March is about, man. But so Notre Dame defeats Vandy 67-64. Notre Dame is still dancing. They will now play UConn next round. Who you got, Mel? UConn, Notre Dame. Who you got? Who you got? Who you got?
As much as I would want to pick, as much as I want to see Hannah Hidalgo, pull off the upset and Notre Dame pull out that game, I'm UConn. It's just a difference here, and it has nothing to do with Notre Dame. It's more so about UConn. But when we get to that UConn game, I do have a take where I'm gonna be changing up a pick or so that I made. UConn is gonna be Notre Dame, yes, but If
Okay,
they
so
run into another team, I'm changing my pick, man.
you still on this now? Oh, okay. All right.
Changing my
Let's
pick,
move
bro.
on. Next game, UConn. UConn beats UNC 63-42, led by Sarah Strong, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 steals, 2 blocks. AZ Fudd struggled. Pretty much everybody pretty much struggled today except Blanca, Sarah Strong,
Hmm.
and uh and Navarre from North Carolina. But AZ Fudd 10 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. Blanca off the bench 16 points, 3 rebounds, 4 steals, 1 block. And for North Carolina, Navarre 20 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 steals, 1 block. Since you got some takes to get off, I'm gonna just say all I gotta say is like shout out to Navarre. She was aggressive from early on, and they scored. North Carolina, I think they had like 12 in the first quarter,
Hmm.
and then proceeded to score in the second and third quarter, only 13, 13 total points. Like that defense. That's why I say about UConn. UConn, they shot the ball horrendous tonight. Well, earlier today, they couldn't make nothing. Open shots, they couldn't make nothing. But the difference with them is that defense is A1. They was pressing and making North Carolina uncomfortable. They forced a couple turnovers, a couple 10-second violations. And Sarah Strong in that second quarter, she just said, all right, well, we can't make none. Get out the way. Just get out my way. I got y'all. Her and Blanca. They combined for at least like 80% of the points, maybe 90% of the points in the first half. And they carried them. And then by the time third quarter hit, the defense was still intact. AZ Fudd made a couple baskets. KK made a couple. Like everybody started chipping in just a little bit, just enough,
Hmm.
and to separate them from North Carolina, and that's why you got the 20-point lead. Rebounds, of course, like actually tonight lost the rebound battle, 45-38. But they created 24 turnovers, and North Carolina only got 10 assists. Once again, horrible ratio. UNC had I said UNC. UConn had 18 steals tonight, 7 blocks. That's incredible defensive stats, But I feel like though, let's get to you. Let's get to you. I want to hear your take and what you got to say, because you got some interesting takes sometimes. So
Yeah. Well, first, I'm gonna say I just want to say this. My take from this game is, boy, did North Carolina blow a chance to pull off an upset in the first half. I'm not, and see, this is the thing, right? Like you're watching this game. Like I said, the reason I had chosen, before I was like, yo, if LSU is able to get to the chip, they will be able to beat UConn because of their offense. This game, North Carolina, they had so many opportunities to have a bigger lead than they did. Even in the first quarter, right? Listen, I want to give them credit. They held UConn to, I think, their lowest scoring quarter in the season. UConn had 12
yep.
points. I repeat, UConn had 12 points. You're looking at the first quarter and you're like, first of all, where's the ball movement? I'm seeing a lot of one-on-ones. I'm seeing a lot of one and done shots where it's just like, okay, what's going on? AZ Fudd had like I think she had 2 points that first quarter. She was missing a lot of shots. UConn, and the thing is, North Carolina made a conservative effort where it's like, okay, if anybody else besides Sarah Strong and AZ Fudd shoots the ball, it's a win. And then that was working because Ashlyn Shade, listen, great underrated player. I feel like Ashlyn Shade is one of the most underrated spot up shooters in the nation. I'm gonna keep saying that. I remember last season she had like 20 plus points all in a row just off a spot up shooting. She can shoot, but when you're playing UConn, if Ashlyn Shade is taking a lot of shots, that's a win. If KK Arnold has the ball longer in her hands than she needs to, and it's not in AC and Sarah Strong's hands, that's a win. And what I saw from North Carolina was they had a defensive scheme that was working. And on top of that, the UConn was just missing shots to a clip that we're not used to seeing. And like, okay, like, you eventually think, okay, like, UConn is going to be able to turn it up. And it was a very low scoring first half. But even then, North Carolina had a chance in the second quarter to be able to build momentum. Because like I said, UConn, they were shooting like 23% from the field. They only had like 4 offensive rebounds. So it was a struggle. The second quarter, North Carolina, I cannot tell you how many missed layups North Carolina had. The second quarter was the perfect opportunity for North Carolina to create some separation. They was missing open jump shots, they was missing layups, or they was turning the ball over. They had they had a chance to do the unthinkable. But at the end of the day, one thing about UConn, like how we talk about all the time, no matter how lackluster their offense may look, you want to know one thing that won't look lackluster? That defense. That defense was the offense. That defense was the offense. That's what kept them in that game. That's what allowed them to be able to neutralize any type of run that North Carolina had. And I feel like, Navarre, like she was the only person that really was showing up. I want to give her credit too because she was playing with some fight, she was playing with some hunger, getting the offensive rebounds and attacking and things like that. But outside of her, North Carolina couldn't get anything. Nothing clean. They couldn't get no ball movement because everything was on Clint, was on lockdown. So, and then obviously, with even then, I think they was down first half, they was only down by 8. But at the end of the day, and like I said, AZ4 was 1 of 7. Like,
That's a 10
that's what
seed.
I'm saying. AZ Fudd was 1 for 7 from the field. Sarah Strong is the only one balling. Like she came out of the gate in that second quarter. It was a Sarah Strong show. Like she came in the game. He tween, midi, pull up, light work. And I'm sure Gino loved that. And I also want to show love to Bianca because Bianca came in that game and helped
Blanca, Blanca,
Blanca, yeah,
Blanca.
apologies. Blanca came in that game and helped sustain and help carry that lead because if it wasn't for Blanca, UConn probably wouldn't have been in the lead because of how lethargic that UConn was looking. But at the end of the day, UConn, it could be anybody's night. Anybody could step up. And third quarter started. It was all we all knew it was over. UConn went on that run. AZ Fudd started to play better. She started seeing some shots fall, and then UConn was able to blow away with it. But I'm not gonna lie to you. From an offensive standpoint, UConn that was very concerning to me because I'm like, if North Carolina could make you look like that, there's teams that's left in the 20 who's better defensively and way better offensively. So like I said, UConn, I want to shout out, give them love, show them credit for being able to get the job done. You know what I'm saying? North Carolina, at the end of the day, they're gonna look at the film and be like, damn, we had a chance if we could have just scored the basketball. But damn, they couldn't even make a layup. They was like 2 for 17 in the paint and you're not that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to UConn for getting it done. But I will say, and this is something where like cause I know we had spoke before about like, okay, like if this team met this team, what would happen? When we had went over to UConn and South Carolina take, I had picked UConn because I said to myself, okay, UConn is gonna be able to, you know, their offense is gonna be cause South Carolina trouble and AZ Fudd backdoor, Sarah Strong. But I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm allowed to change my mind whether I'm right or wrong. It's cool. But looking at this game, it made it very clear to me. r- Honestly, UConn is really Sarah Strong, AZ Fudd. That's it. But that doesn't mean that other players can't come in and produce because they can. But you can't rely. You don't have a reliable third that you can say this player is guaranteed to come in.
Blanca.
Not guaranteed. That's tonight, but she had that tonight. That's not a. You're not penciling that in.
She was.
I'm. I'm.
You
I'm.
saw
I'm.
Blanca
I'm.
tonight.
I'm not. I'm saying even if she is the third, and
Uh,
that's this is me. This isn't me disrespecting. She's a good player.
no, no, you
I'm
good.
just saying, teams are better from here on out offensively and defensively. So if UConn is able to find a way to play against a South Carolina team, I'm sorry, I chose UConn in the beginning. I'm switching my answer, and the reason is because I'm looking at a South Carolina team to where if AZ Fudd is going to have any type of, if she's going to have that type of start, and think UConn is going to be able to survive, especially looking at the like Ashland Shade struggling. If you're looking at the others of UConn, the others have to be able to put on. Oh, it's gonna get ugly. And on top of that, South Carolina has size. You got Medina Okot, you got Joyce Edwards. I know her and Sarah Strong would be an interesting matchup. I'm looking at a South Carolina team that they're not offensively gifted, but damn, they do got Tanaya Latson, who just led the scoring in the nation last season. They do got Tessa Johnson, who's leading the SEC in 3-point percentage. They do have Joyce Edwards, who's having a career year. Her numbers is damn near on par with Asia Wilson. They do got Seatbelt Raven Johnson. You know what I'm saying? You got Agat Makia, you got McDaniel. I'm looking at a South Carolina team where if UConn isn't able to get production outside of AZ and Sarah, it's gonna be a long day for UConn. And on top of that, South Carolina is big, they're strong, they got tournabees. They could get physical with UConn. And I'm just saying, I don't think UConn, like, yes, they're offensively good, but Sarah and AZ, it's gonna be a lot of pressure on them to have to put on. Because if one of them don't, I don't see how you survive against South Carolina. How do you? When the others, even if Blanca is able to somehow score, I don't think I could rely on that in that matchup. South Carolina is too good defensively. All you got to do is box up AZ or Sarah, and then the others you could live. You could live with Ashlyn Shea shooting. Or we'll live.
It's easy. It's easy. The box up Sarah and easy. It's not
One of
easy.
them is gonna get off.
They won 50 something straight for a reason. They won 50 something straight for a
Yeah.
reason. People trying. People trying.
But yeah,
You gotta chill, man. You
nah,
gotta chill.
bro.
You can't let one game cloud.
Nah,
One game.
bro. I'm looking at.
Like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have that off game every now and then. It's about sometimes it's about surviving and advancing. Sometimes it's just I survived, I advanced on to the next round. That's what it's about. Sometimes it's like that, like we see South Carolina not had the best games so far, but they just survive and advance, But we know what kind of talent they got over there. Like we ain't dumb. So all right, we'll see, man.
That's my
I just
take.
hope I just hope I don't want nobody saying we flip flop was.
We're not flip flopping. It's just I'm allowed to change my opinion. So and I have like a rationale for why, based off of what I'm seeing. I know it is probably early, like, oh, like, yeah, it happens, but hey, man, I just think different.
Because it's not you like panicking. It's not you like
Nah, I'm not panicking. Nah, not at all.
Game is like, oh nah.
Nah, because even when I elaborate on that point, like, it'd be times where you just chatting and I didn't really like fully process. It was like, wait, oh shit, like, no, UConn is really Sarah Azy. The reason that UConn won that chip was because they had Paige Beckers as well. Like you had to guard multiple players, but shit, that's put a lot of pressure on AZ and Sarah to put on. That's all I'm saying. It's gonna be an interesting matchup, a tougher matchup.
And then you watch that championship game. I don't think Paige had the best.
She didn't.
Game
It was Sarah. Yeah, Sarah.
It was Sarah, and they got people like Chen.
Yeah.
Had a you could get these random games for somebody like Jill said earlier. Like it's like like the stars gonna be the stars, but it's about somebody that you don't like. Where she come from? Like so it happened. So we'll see.
Let's see.
So, I mean,
we'll get there.
See. They got the Elite Eight, so they play Notre Dame next. Me and you both believe they will beat Notre Dame. So we believe. We believe also the South Carolina.
We believe they should. Yeah, we don't know. Big if. Yeah.
You never know now to be in March, man. But they should beat Oklahoma and whoever they play next. I don't know who they play next, but they should beat them as well. I think it's like maybe TCU
or Virginia.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Virginia.
I think so too.
We'll
get there.
We'll get there. But I don't think TCU gonna be there. But so we'll see. Like if they match up, in 2 more rounds because they play. If they play, that would be. Maybe like next week because the Elite Eight begins on Monday, so that'll be like next week, whatever it is. We'll see, man. That'd be good. Like everybody is like waiting for that matchup. Like, everybody was hoping it would be in the championship round. It's kind of corny that's gonna be in the Final Four, but
at least we get it. Yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we get it. Yeah,
hopefully we get it. It's what it is. So look forward to that, man. I just hope. I'm being on the other side of going for the other team. So,
I got you.
Yeah. We'll see, man. But UConn defeats North Carolina 63-42. Last game of the night, UCLA, Minnesota. UCLA did what they did. It beat Minnesota 80-56, led by Lauren Best 16 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 5 blocks. Uh, Gabriela Jaquez 10 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Kiki Rice aggressive tonight, great game tonight. 21 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 3 steals. Um, Angela Dugal Dugalagic. I think I'm saying her name right. I'm sorry if I'm not.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm not. AD 13 points, 10 rebounds off the bench, 1 block. From Minnesota. Tough game tonight for Maya Battle.
Hmm.
3 for 16 after hitting the game winner and having a good game last game. Sophie Hart, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Tori McKinney, 9 points, 3 rebounds. Grace, 12 points, 6 rebounds. Mara Braun, 9 points. And the bench had, Briley Glenn, 9 points. I just want to say shout out to Kiki Rice. She came out very aggressive tonight and sustained it throughout the whole game that she was in there. Lauren Best was. I mean, they pretty much like try to take Lauren Best out the game by double team her, but it worked to an extent, but because the game was close by at halftime, they was down by like I think it was like 5 or 7 or something was. So the game was close. It was close. In the third quarter, fourth quarter is where UCLA they took off and UCLA they just don't give me when I watch them like I don't know. It's about the where like it's just like you see a team and they dominate like yeah they
Yeah.
dominate like when I watch it, I just be like I don't know like I don't know what it is about them man like they win in by 24 but it don't feel dominant. It just feel like they just not playing. I don't know man.
Hmm.
But man, your take on this game?
Yeah, I mean, my take from this game is UCLA handled business, and I never thought Minnesota really had a chance. Even though they did make it interesting, and no, the second quarter they definitely played good and played better, and they went on their runs throughout the game. But once the second half started, it was all she wrote. But I love how Lauren Best came out of the game and got started. I loved her activity. She, especially with just like hitting like her first two mid ranges, she made a couple jump shots, which is great to see. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she's the best skilled big in the nation. Her ability to move her feet, slide her feet. She can guard guards. I remember when she was guarding Jelani Cambridge against Ohio State. Like Lauren Best is talented all across the board, and she's the only Big Ten player to win Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season. So it just shows you her versatility and how important she is to that team. But yeah, man, like how you mentioned, Kiki Rice, she put on, and we definitely going to show her love and give her praise. And when she's putting on and when she's looking the way she looked, she had um 21 points and was sharp. You know what I'm saying? She was sharp all throughout. And first quarter, UCLA's defense, man, they was able to really, cause some pressure, even though they missed a lot of layups in the beginning. It was like a lot of shots close to the rim where, they just wasn't finishing, which kind of made it, a bit closer than, I'm sure they expected. But I will say from Minnesota's standpoint, like I said, the second quarter was that was their money quarter. And I want to shout out what's her name, the big Sophie Hart, because she was actually challenging Lauren Betts on the offensive end. Like she was getting the ball back her down, was able to, finish a little bit. And I feel like in the second quarter, Minnesota's game was like, okay, we're not going to over penetrate. We're not just going to drive and, just run into the lane, understanding that 6'7" Lauren Betts is there. We're going to play smarter. They was hitting mid-range shots. They was able to actually, take their pull-ups, and their offense became a bit more efficient. So they was able to put more points on the board, not just by driving to the rim, because a lot of the times Lauren Best was just sitting in the paint, daring the big two shoot. So at the end of the day, you have to shoot the basketball, or else if you force it down in the paint, it's going to be an inefficient shot. So I feel like in the second quarter, Minnesota definitely did a good job of, changing up their scheme and, like I said, not over penetrating. And for and on that invigorated their defense too, because in the second quarter, UCLA's offense was tight box. I ain't gonna lie, it was a lot of
Yeah.
possessions where shot clock was winding down, and you're just like, wait, UCLA, like what's going on? Why can't we look as consistent as we do one quarter, the next quarter, or why are we even playing around with a team like this? And like I said, I always said I'm a USC fan. Fight on, so we don't even root for UCLA, but I show love. I give respect to the players. this team, like how similar to you, when I'm watching UCLA play, it just seems like they don't have that. They can't go. They're unable to go into that gear to just really knock a team out. Not saying that they don't, because they've done in the regular season. We've seen that, but too many times we've seen UCLA against CA Baptist. That was a competitive game the first half. Respectfully, that should have been close. That shouldn't even have been the story. I feel like UCLA doesn't put away teams when they're supposed to. When they played Washington and they only had 6 points in the first quarter, you got to look better than that. As the you want to be the number one team, you got to put teams away. And I feel like UCLA too many times they open the door, they give chances for team to stay in the fight, come back, and when teams go on runs against UCLA, you could see them panicking. All you got to do is make it close against UCLA. All you gotta do is keep it close. And I'm telling you, they start looking lackluster. They start fumbling, turning the ball over, and their offense just does not look. It has no fluidity. There was multiple times that game where UCLA was even struggling to throw the ball on the block to their post players, not even to just Lauren Betts. There was times even the commentators was just like, "Yo, that's a horrible post pass. Like, what are you going on? Like, you're a senior. You got to be able to pass the ball better than that." And they did. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, at the end of the day, they took care of business. Like I said, Lauren Best played good. Kiki Rice played good. Angela, she came off the bench and really put on, and she had 10 rebounds. She came out the game and she came in the game and definitely made an instant impact. But like I said, Minnesota just didn't have enough, man. And it sucks because I really wanted to see Ole Miss and UCLA. I feel like it would have been more of a competitive series, but at the end of the day, Ole Miss lost. They blew their chance. And Minnesota took care of business. But this was a game where UCLA didn't really have any trouble. Second half, the game was over. But, Kiki Rice, when she's able to get downhill, when she's able to control the pace, she had a lot of impressive finishes tonight, spin moves in the paint, was on the break a lot, was able to change the tempo and change the pace. When she's playing like that, UCLA is tough to deal with. Gabrielle Hodges, I think she only had 10 points tonight. Um, and Gianna Knepkins only had 5. Ledger Walker, like those are players that have to get it going because it's only the competition is only going to get tougher from here. It can't just be Lauren Betts and or Kiki Rice. It takes all of them. Them players are talented. Hodges is having a career. Yeah, she has to find a way to get it going. Against Minnesota, you could get away with it, but against the Texas and South Carolina or UConn, you got to be able to get it done. But UCLA, they just it seems like even in the fourth quarter or the third quarter, like Minnesota went on a run, and you're like, hold on, the game is not over yet. They just have this inability to put teams away when they're supposed to, and they have to be careful with that because teams. I don't think teams really fear UCLA. They don't. They believe that this team, whether they're not legitimate with they shit, whatever it is, but UCLA just has to do a better job of closing out games and putting teams away. They have the talent, they have the skill set, they have the star power. They just have to do it, man. But they did against Minnesota. We'll see how they play going forward, against Duke. I think that'll be interesting. So, you know,
So we got it. I'm glad you said that. We got
I got I got Duke. I got Duke. I'm a big believer. This Cinderella story will continue. I'm telling you, I'm a big believer in momentum, and what I'm seeing from Duke is a team that has revitalized themselves, where they have an extra heartbeat. And like how I said, you see what was um Duke able to do against LSU tonight. A lot of times, key possessions, it was able to capitalize. Big shots from Tying Amir, rebounding, about 20 offensive rebounds, second chance points. UCLA, I feel like once Duke is able to kind of lock down in that defense, UCLA is going to have to play poised and disciplined defense to be able to get it done. And I just feel like Duke is on a momentum run to where it's either Duke or it's nobody else. So I got Duke.
Duke too.
Yeah,
I got Duke too.
Big Toby, man. Shout out to
Like you said,
Toby.
nobody's scared of you saying that. Like I feel like Duke has the guards like tying them in to like think she could bring out Lauren Best and attack her and pick a roll and attack her actually because she's so fast.
Yeah.
And Toby Fournier ain't scared of nobody. So I know she's gonna be down there banging. Delaney Thomas coming down there
She's gonna
banging.
cause foul. She's gonna
It's gonna
cause
be
yeah,
a great game. It's gonna be a
yeah.
great game. It's gonna be a great game, man. But I gotta do two for sure, man.
Mhm.
Before I conclude, but UCLA move on. They defeated Minnesota 80-56. So now they will be in the Elite Eight. Tomorrow, the Sweet 16 continues, and then the Elite Eight starts on Monday. And before we conclude this episode, I just want to well, I'm not breaking news, but Connecticut was sold to Houston, so
Mhm.
now we will begin Houston. I believe
Comments.
they're using the same common
Yeah.
team. Starting in 2027. It sucks that Connecticut is losing their team, because they held it down for a number of years. And Connecticut is a great basketball place as far as support women's basketball. I hope they when we expand again in some years, hopefully they can get a team either over there or New England, Boston, somewhere over there. But yeah, the Comets will be back next year, so hopefully we can get Cheryl Swoops, courtside one of them
Shout out
for a
Big
few games
Cheryl.
and
Cheryl
courtside one of
Swoops.
them games, man. Yeah, man, that'd be nice, man. Yeah, that concludes the episode. Like I said, like, subscribe, and share. Um, the social medias at the beginning of the video. Yeah, did y'all thing. We passed 500. Last my check, we was at 513.
Thank you. Thank
Keep
you.
us moving. Keep us moving. Our next goal is 1,000. So hopefully we can hit that real soon. So yeah, so we'll see y'all tomorrow. Love
Love.
y'all.
Appreciate you.
Tomorrow will be earlier game. So thank God.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank God.
Cause it's same late.
Love y'all.
Love. Love.